Big Z Reviews. All These Small Moments is a new indie drama that just now finally released, even though it kind of came out like a while ago last year, but just now hitting streaming and everywhere. And this was written and directed by Melissa Miller Costanzo, or Melissa B. Miller. And it is a charming film at times, but it's a little messy. And it's really about like this coming of age drama for this guy, and it's surrounded by all these women that either his mother, his a younger, a girl that could potentially be a love interest in at the same age, and then a potential love interest that is a couple of decades older than him, and it's interesting. Again, it's just a little messy.
What's with you anyway?
Howie's obsessed with some 30-year-old.
You guys should see him in the morning. He spends hours in front of the mirror.
I'll find her. Oh, woman from the bus. What do I do?
Just go after her, dude.
Dad's definitely cheating on Mom.
Jesus.
What are you talking about?
Felicity Kavanaugh, I saw you sitting on the same side of the table.
Let me explain.
Okay, boys, that's enough.
So I first heard about this movie because my favorite band ever is on the soundtrack. And it's an indie rock band called Aloud. And I said I have one of their albums signed from them. And I think it's really cool because they're a smaller band. They're a Boston band. And they currently moved out to Los Angeles recently. And, they came back to the Northeast in New York for the premiere of this film. And so I've been following them on social media. And I know that the soundtrack is really good. Like, they have a lot of other good bands on it, and the only thing I will say is that sometimes, I don't know if it's edited quite right. Like, sometimes the music is a little too loud almost, but still the music is really cool, and I didn't mind. And the only thing that I didn't like about the soundtrack is I went to go buy the soundtrack after the movie, because there's the one new song from Aloud is like on the end credits. And but for some reason, all the music is on the soundtrack except for that song. So I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, well. So this movie mainly stars Brendan Meyer, and he has his family is kind of having him in the rough patch. His father, Brian D'Arcy James, and his mother, Molly Ringwald, they're kind of separating, and there's some stuff going on with them. And he's dealing with that, and he's also dealing at school. He had a broken arm, and like instead of gym class, he goes to the library, and there he meets this girl, Lindsay, played by Harley Quinn Smith, and that they give some attraction there, but he doesn't really like her. But there's rumors about her that the friends told him, and then on the bus every day, and there's this other older woman, Odessa, played by Jemima Kirk. And that he kind of really infatuated with her, and like his kind of like is going on these moment in this kid's life of and then how he'll deal with it, and how he'll because he kind of really infatuated with this Odessa, but he's kind of a girl that's kind of should be unattainable, or even it'd be really weird if he were in a couple with her, but there's also he's ignoring all the other women in his life that are the same age as him. And it's kind of like the idea of this movie is that all these small moments or whatever, that how important they are. And that's the one thing, that there's no, throughout the movie, there's no, talking. Like, no one's, narrating it. But then at the end, there's narration for, to sum up the movie. And it's like, and years later, when I was 30 years old, I remember how important all these small moments were. And it felt so out of place. I don't know. It's like, they need to end it some way. Let's do something to sum up the movie. And it's just kind of stupid. I hate when movies do that sort of thing, especially if they don't set up narration earlier. But, all the actors are really good. I especially like the young boy, Brendan Mayer. And then all the supporting cast is pretty good. And the mom, Ronald Ringwald, is great. And, Harley Quinn Smith, she isn't bad, but I think they ask a lot from her, because her character has to deliver a couple of monologues to the young boy, explaining her worth to him, and her backstory to him. And these monologues, they're long and they're fine, but they feel like they don't feel real. They don't feel like her actions don't seem like how a human being would behave. Like, because I mean, she kind of really likes him too, and wants to say, I'm not, the rumors about me, they're all lies. They're all things this guy's trying to tell because I rejected him, and all these shenanigans go on with that, and it's kind of ridiculous. But I mean, I don't blame her. Like, I know they're asking a little bit too much from her, maybe. I kind of enjoyed bits and pieces of this movie. I just felt like it wasn't quite fully realized. Like, they didn't edit together like enough of a film. Like, I didn't get to know like what they're really trying to say. But I mean, there's he has a family trouble, and there's like kind of like a couple of different stories really, and they're all set around the three women in his life, and like he's almost kind of like the side character to all the women and what they're going through, and that's an interesting way to do it. But at the same time, I don't know, it just doesn't quite work. Because I mean, like when he actually gets to talking to Odessa, and you learn like you don't really learn too much about her, but like they get to start, maybe they might have a relationship, and it's a little awkward. Like, I found it awkward, but it's like they don't really say how old he is, but I assume like 16, and she's like 30. No, so it's kind of weird. But it's also too, I couldn't help this, it's a little nitpicky, but like when you first meet her, they always see him on the bus. Then later you find out, she owns a vegetable stand, like that she sells her own vegetables that she grows on top of a building in New York. And like at first when they said that, I was like, so how does she get the vegetables to the vegetable stand if she always riding the bus? And then like they answer that by saying like they go to the work, and then he helps her carry boxes, and she has a van, and she drives the van, and it's like, well, if you have a van and you own the stand and you own the van, why would you ride a bus? Like, where are you riding the bus to? It's so stupid. But I just couldn't help it. What doesn't make sense? It's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter for the story. I just found it odd a little. But still, it's a charming little film that is definitely rough around the edges. But I'm sure it was filmed on a micro budget. And, and I like that, with modern cameras now, it can still look great on a really small budget. And it is, like, the actors are pretty good in this. They said the script is I think, is one of the weaker parts. And there are some odd scenes. Like, there's almost like there's going to be like a circle jerk between some of the guys. They're watching but at one point they're watching TV, and there's like a exercise video, and they're all like rubbing their crotch, and it's like, oh, what's the point of that scene? I don't know. There's a couple scenes like that I feel like they could have cut out some of these scenes and then maybe try to do more about developing more of the story instead. But I don't know, as a movie, it's okay. I didn't mind it. I liked it. I'd probably give it like a 7.25 out of 10. I wouldn't highly recommend it, but it's not bad. Especially if you like the sound, you check out the soundtrack though. The soundtrack is really great. But thanks for watching. You can try to replay from my head, scratch me at Z over there. And if I can get on this video, I may include a clip from when Aloud made a song for my dogs as part of a Kickstarter reward. But thanks for watching.
She's looking for
This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.